did the two men, possessed with demons, call Jesus God? Let's turn to Matthew 8 for the simple answer. Jesus heals two men with demons.
When he arrived at the other side in the region of the Gadarenes, two demon-possessed men coming from the tombs met him. They were so violent that no one could pass that way.
"What do you want with us, Son of God?"
They shouted.
"Have you come here to torture us before the appointed time?"
Some distance from them, a large herd of pigs was feeding. The demons begged Jesus.
"If you drive us out, send us into the herd of pigs."
He said to them,
"Go."
So they came out and went into the pigs, and the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the lake and died in the water. Those tending the pigs ran off into the town and reported all this, including what had happened to the demon-possessed men. Then the whole town went out to meet Jesus, and when they saw him, they pleaded with him to leave their region. Jesus stepped into a boat, crossed over, and came to his own town.
We just saw, in Simon's last video, how Satan, who was among the highest of all angels, certainly knew and addressed Jesus as being the Son of God, in Matthew 4:3, and Matthew 4:6, and not as God. And the devil, and Jesus, also addressed God as being God alone. We have also just seen in Matthew 8:28-35 how the situation is identical, in that the demons also referred to calling Jesus, "O Son of God." And the demons did not call Jesus God, or did not refer to Jesus as being God, or did the demons give any indication that Jesus was God himself? But there is more. Notice how it was the demons who begged Jesus by saying, "If you cast us out, send us away into the herd of pigs."
Some distance from them, a large herd of pigs was feeding. The demons begged Jesus.
"If you drive us out, send us into the herd of pigs."
He said to them,
"Go."
We see how it was the demons who spoke to Jesus through the two men.
And went into the pigs, and the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the lake and died in the water.
And yet, there is no indication in the Bible that the demons personally knew, or even met Jesus beforehand.
Pigs ran off into the town and reported all this, including what had happened to the demon-possessed men.
And yet the demons had already known that Jesus was the Son of God, when no one had yet spoke.
Pass that way.
"What do you want with us, Son of God?"
They shouted.
"Have you come here to torture us before the appointed time?"
And yet the demons did not refer to Jesus being God.
Some distance from them.
Surely, if Jesus were God, they obviously would have called Jesus God. And there is more. Notice how Jesus did not say to the demons, "You are wrong, I am God." Notice how Jesus did not say to the demons, "You are wrong, I and the Father are one God." Notice how Jesus did not say to the demons, "You are wrong, I and the Father are three." as with Matthew 4, where the devil also referred to Jesus as only being the Son of God and not God. As we have seen again, there is also nothing in Matthew 8:28-35 referring to Jesus being God, or teaching Jesus is God, or three called the Catholic Trinity. There are also no contradictions in both Matthew 4, with the devil, and Matthew 8, with the demons, saying Jesus is the Son of God, but then on their other hand saying Jesus is the same God he came from, as we see with the contradiction, by the faith of the people who teach Jesus is the Son of God, and yet in their other hand, Jesus is also the same one true God he came from. Matthew 8:28-35 is yet again another one of countless biblical facts that proves Jesus is not God, but the literal Son of his God. The biblical facts are, Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God, Matthew 16:16. And that by believing, you may have life in his name, John 20:31.
And eternal life means to know you, the only true God, and to know Jesus Christ, whom you sent.
And yet Trinitarians say they cannot understand their faith, and their faith is a mystery. Why can't people who teach Jesus is God understand the simple biblical facts? The answer is in Simon's video: who were and are the false prophets?